Hello, hello. Welcome back to Estela Lugo's channel. In this episode, The Art of a True Gentleman, I'm going to give Alan a break from my intrusion in his artistic life. Hello, Alan. It's nice to be here again with you.
Yes, it is nice.
Yes, enjoy this wonderful weather. We
Yes.
are in summer. Really, today is one of the wonderful days.
Mm.
Yes,
Yes,
Alan.
it is. Now, there's one word you used earlier when you introduced in the introduction.
Oh,
You
yes.
you you said you interrupted my
Oh, intrusion.
intrusion. Yes,
I said
yes, yes.
intrusion.
You didn't intrude at all. I enjoy doing it. It's a pleasure, and it's part of my artwork
Ah,
to do this sort of thing. It's good.
thank you. It's lovely to hear that. Thank you. Okay, now in this episode, Alan is going to tell us about another of his wonderful pieces of art he called Raft. Come on with me to see him or to hear him about it.
It means something very, 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 very dear to me, actually. I'm surprised. It's a picture I did about 8 years ago when Mary died, just after she died.
Oh.
And I've forgotten today that I did it. And we fetched it down out of the storeroom upstairs, and it absolutely amazes me. It's got two sides to it. It's very complicated technically. The reason technically I did it, but the real reason was that I was grieving very deeply for Mary at the time, and I couldn't understand what death was, where the souls of the dead, where they went to. They seem to. I know that we all become stardust and disappear into space, but I wanted to visualize it. And that's really what I was trying to do with this picture, which is visualizing where souls went after they died. And I thought, well, the only way you can really do that is to get some concept of what space is like itself. So I imagined that space is like a mirror reflecting the sky, and we are floating in that vast space, so that each of these are shipwrecked mariners in space, as it were. They're on a Kon-Tiki-like raft in the middle of nowhere, sailing away and hoping and hoping and hoping. That's really what the picture is about. It's lost souls in space, really.
Very interesting, Alan. Thank you very much. Really, is your feelings, your passion, everything in your art is incredible.
Well, it's just, and it was a technical challenge as well, because my art is changing, and I wanted to grasp something different from the usual frame and picture idea. So I got this idea that really a picture should be a thing in itself, almost floating in space, and that instead of looking into a picture should come out at you. And the only way I could think of doing it was to put it on in a mirror, so that the only thing you could see when you look at it was the work of art itself, that the rest didn't exist. So your mind has got to explore the actual content of the picture.
Thank you, Alan, for your explanation about the raft. It's nice. I noticed something, Alan. something really is wonderful because he, since his wife died, all the time is doing art for her. This raft, you said, you make it in the moment she basically died.
Soon after, very soon after, yes,
Soon
yes,
after.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Um, it was part of the grieving process, really. It's extremely difficult to come to terms with death, and I was trying to get in my mind a model, an idea of what had happened and where she was. Um,
Mm.
it was very hard, I must say. Um, to do it, and I wanted to imagine that she was in a void somewhere between me and the stars
Yes,
on a journey, and I tried to imagine that journey, and I wondered if she was together with all the other souls that have died recently, and they were all travelling up to wherever they go to.
yes. It's the same he is explained us about the phoenix. If you remember that episode, he told us he started that piece of art as well when she died, as soon she died. That means that shows us, or show me, how wonderful and deep love he had or has for her. It's, it's very nice somebody love you until after the person died. It's wonderful, really, because all these pieces of art, you were inspired about her, about where she is, where is my love. He continued with her in his mind, doing all these things. Really is something very, very, I don't know, but it's difficult to find today this kind of love. Mm?
Charlie Chaplin, speaking about his last marriage, said it's an esoteric union, and that means it's a mysterious thing. Being married, to be in love, um, it's something that I think marks us out from the lesser beings, that we can devote ourselves to one other person and live with that person.
Yes, incredible.
Yes,
He is still living with her in his mind all the time.
exactly. Yes, yes.
She is still with him still today after 9 years possible.
9 years it is now.
9 years
Yes, yeah,
possible.
yeah, yeah.
That's is
And
incredible.
it's still a rich life. I don't want to die and go with her. I know that'll come sooner enough, but I want to enjoy what's left of my life, and that's what she would have wanted too.
Alan's art is a fascinating combination of skill, of emotions, and raw talent. Each piece has a unique story. That is, I think, about your art, Alan.
You're very kind and very flattering. I hope it's all those things. It's probably none of them.
Oh, no, 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 it's true. Another things I want to tell you, I'm going to show in some image, uh, Alan, apart of working every day in his art, all the time is doing that, he has some moments to enjoy with friends. Do you remember your friend? He was in the garden the other day with you. Remember to him?
Graham.
Ryan,
Yeah,
yes.
yes,
Ryan is another
yeah.
friend of him, and he shares sometimes with friends, relaxing moments. Sometimes he is doing with his family as well. He is doing meetings with them, your son, your grandson,
Yeah, my great grandsons.
your great great grandson. It's incredible. It's he has a lot of activities, not just painting. The majority of the time, yes, he is creating art, but he's working in other things, in well, reading news, listening to the radio, watching TV, many things.
Writing my biography.
Your biography, of course. Maybe one day somebody want to.
It's a very fit book. I've written a lot.
Alan, I would like to ask you how you how do you feel about being interviewed?
How do I feel about it?
Yes.
Well, I've changed my view. To start with, I was very apprehensive because I don't like seeing myself and hearing myself speak. But to be perfectly honest, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's got more and more interesting as you've
Oh,
gone on, and it's made me think about myself and about what I do much more.
oh.
But I think you're over egging the pudding. I don't think I'm great or anything like that. It's just something that's just made me very happy in my life.
Oh, that is a lot for me, Alan, because it make me feel happy as well. Because it's lovely to somebody feel he's doing something interesting. Oh, really, I
It's been
love
good
that.
fun. It's been good
Ah,
fun.
yes, and for me as well was very nice because honestly, before these interviews, I didn't know about this kind of art. Now I beginning to start more about this kind of art. It's a, it's the emotions, the feelings of the artist. That is lovely as well. Thank you, Alan, because I learned a lot as well
It was a
about
young
your.
man's hope and an old man's folly.
Okay, well, so come to the end of this series of interviews. I want to thanks Alan for sharing with us his talent, his emotion, for sharing everything with the world. Okay, people, thank you to you as well for watching us, for your support, for your kind of subscription, for everything. Really, I am grateful with you. And I will see you in the next episode. I'm sure something interesting can be for you. Bye bye for now.